Alright, just went live. Let's see how the stream is looking. Need to do some setup before we get started. Why it won't let me type in my own chat. Just trying to test a new widget I'm using. Oh, another tab, I guess. And let's test a change in the mic. We're gonna be starting a new. There we go. It's much louder. I don't know if it's too loud. I'm not getting any feedback at the moment, so it's kind of tough. Plus, for some reason, it's not letting me view my chat, which is kind of annoying. Alright, let's try this test. See if it shows up. There it is. Okay. Ooh, severely shortened. Alright. Or was it just hearing double? Clearly I have a lot to learn in terms of these setups. Ooh, now the chat's gone, that's great. Whatever. Alright, well, we're just gonna play. And I guess I'm gonna have to have my stream open all the way, because I can't view my chat in the dashboard for some reason. In case it wasn't obvious, I'm a very novice streamer, so bear with me, we'll get started here soon. Alright. Let's try this again. Alright, seems to be coming up pretty quickly. On my OBS anyway, I don't know if the chat bar is showing up actually on the stream. This is a blue cartridge that I bought a while ago. It already has a file on it, but we're just gonna wipe it. Actually, I get the... I don't want to get clowned on right now. I want to make sure I don't get in the game and it doesn't allow me to save because there's an existing save file. Ay ay ay. A lot of difficulties before we even get started. It's alright. We'll just give the save thing a shot, and if it doesn't work, it's really not a huge deal anyway. Alright, well, we're starting a new file. I already have a team sort of set up in the long term as to what I want to use. I'm gonna go with we'll go with Larry. It's always a good name. Good old Larry. Let's see. Should Gary's name be? If I'm Larry, I feel like he should be like Rash. Larry. I don't know why, it just doesn't seem fitting for a Pokemon game. Alright, let's see if this... Oh, okay. Got it. No special rules in this game, you can just straight up wipe the existing file. Alright, we're getting started. Gotta talk to our mom first, then go to Professor Oak. Let's see, what starter do we want? I think with my current setup I have us using Charmander, so if there are any viewers, I can't see that there are right now. If you have any objections to choosing Charmander, just let me know. But my goal right now is to go Fire, since there's a pretty big deficiency of Fire-type Pokemon in the first, I don't know, 4 generations of Pokemon games. Oh, right, at the walk in the grass. What am I doing? This is not a speed run. And keyboard on my phone is not cooperating with me. Alright. Back to the lab. I actually don't remember the order in which the Pokemon are. If it's anything like the actual order they're in the Pokedex, then it should be Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander. We'll see, because I don't remember. Tends to always follow that grass, then water, then fire scheme. Nope. Maybe they're in reverse order then. Bulbasaur. Who wants Bulbasaur? Yes, we do. Alright. Which means Rash will be using good old Blastoise. Do you want a nickname? What will be Charizard? Call him Cherry Larry. Will that fit? I doubt it. Yeah, it works. Good old Cherry and Larry. Alright, so for this first fight, you don't really have to do too much. You can just do Tackle or Scratch, whichever one your Pokemon knows, pretty much back to back. Unless you're really unlucky, that'll typically work. You don't have to worry about using Tail Whip or Growl. But when I was a kid, I remember sometimes you lose these fights just because you keep missing or they get critical hits or whatever. Good old RNG. Die, Squirtle. I know we're doing blue version, but no sympathy for Squirtle here. Nice. It's a wasted turn on their end. If we end up dying here, I'm resetting. Alright, now we're guaranteed pretty much to win now with the 2 missed tail whips. There we go, and a critical. So Charizard is one of the Pokemon we're going to end up using all throughout the game, so we want to be sure that we keep it in our party and keep it leveled. Of course, with that said, I do want to fill my Pokedex just because I'm always a completionist when I play Pokemon games. So we will be catching pretty much everything we can as we make our way through the game. And we'll try to keep our party relatively similarly leveled. I don't like the whole having one Pokemon that's way higher than the rest of them. Go ahead and heal up Charmander before we head up to the north. Because we need our Pokedex. I think we have to go up to the next town first, talk to the potion lady. Or guy, I honestly can't remember. One of these guys gives us a potion, a free potion. Here we go, yeah. So, should things go really wrong, we're covered. Something people tend not to realize in this game, not that it's relevant yet, is that you would need a total of blanking on it. It's either 2 or 3 moonstones, and a lot of people think you only get if you wanted to evolve everything that requires one. I want to say it's 2 right now, but I'm probably forgetting someone. There actually is more than 1 moonstone in this game. There's one hidden in a wall. In fact, there might be 2. I don't remember. Like I said, there's enough moonstones in each red and blue that you could evolve every Pokemon that requires one without having to trade at all. You just have to know where to hit A against the wall to find them. Which is nice. I did not realize that when I played this game for the first time as a kid. Alright, we're gonna go into Pokemon Center. Heal up. I know we're not really missing much. We just healed before we left town, but I don't normally nickname my Pokemon, but I'm streaming this time, so why not? Yeah, looks like we're getting a few viewers. Welcome. I just got started in case you're unfamiliar with Red and Blue. I'm sure if you're watching it this late at night, you're probably picking the game because you wanted to see it, so you probably know a bit about it. But we just got started. And we're going back to Professor Oak so that we can get our Pokedex. I chose Charmander. The only right choice. That's not true. In my mind it's true, but I know it's not true in general. Alright, back to Oak. We are playing as Larry. Seems an out-of-place name. Always the best kind of names. That's good old Rash. Nice. Yeah, I have a twin brother, and when we were kids, I got red, he got blue. My love of Pokemon hasn't died since. I remember the first time I turned on this game, you leave your house and then they're like, oh, go see the professor. So I walked around the lab for like 10 minutes and I was like, I don't like this game, I don't get it. My brother happened to stumble up in the grass and it's like, oh, so that's what you do. Yeah. But welcome, by the way, T Gaming. I'm glad you love this game, I certainly do too. I'm currently playing this on the Game Boy player on a GameCube with the GameCube controller, which is kind of cool. Alright, so we're heading back out to the north, heading to Viridian Forest. Hopefully we can catch a Pikachu. Not that we're going to use him too long, but could be useful. I believe Blue has Weedle, so Beedrill is one of the... I didn't even thought about that. Beedrill is one of the people I want in my long-term party. It's a good thing I chose Blue because Weedle is in Blue and Caterpie is in Red, if I'm not mistaken. So sure. Oh, whoops. I was not paying attention to what this guy was saying. Oh wait, maybe I don't know. Ah, that was a mistake. I should have talked to this guy actually. He's just going to show us how to catch Pokemon. There we go. There's the proof that Weedle's in Blue. Which is nice. I won't spoil who our long-term team is going to be by the end of the game, but it's a pretty overpowered team, so I'm looking forward to using it. When I played this as a kid, I certainly did not plan out my teams before I started the game. Instead, I had, you know, your starter that was 20 levels higher than anyone else in your party, and then a Pidgeotto and a Raticate and some other Pokemon you're never going to use to make up the rest of the party. I was pretty bad when I played this younger. But, you know, I was a kid. That's my argument. Oh, actually, I should pick up a few Pokeballs before we start moving through here. Because we're going to want to catch two different Pokemon in the Viridian Forest. Let's just say Viridian Forest, there's no "the" in front of it. And naturally, just to fill the Pokedex, because I am a completionist, we are going to be catching Pidgeotto, or Pidgey and Rattata and that sort of stuff. We're just not going to be using them very long. Oh, dang it. That was such a short walk. Oh no. Caterpie. Oh wait, actually I think they're both in both games. That's right. It's just one is more rare. Which means Caterpie should be more rare in this game. Maybe I'm mixing them up. I don't even remember anymore. That's, yeah, I fell for that too. It's like, oh, they'll sell me a Magikarp. Bought it, and then you find out later on, it's like, yeah, you can fish them up, you know, 10 per minute later on. But hey, getting a Gyarados your first time, that's impressive, because I probably would have given up on the grind. When I was a kid, I was not into grinding too hard to get a Pokemon to level up, and I guess Gyarados only has to get to 20, but some of his more useful moves I think come a bit later. Of course, this game's all about TMs, single-use TMs. I'm so happy in Black and White they finally made the TMs reusable. That made these games pretty rough. I feel like it's almost like a culture shock for people who came into the games more recently to go back and play these and be like, what? I only get to use them once? Alright, 5 Pokeballs? Let's just go with 10. I mean, really, that's the only item we even need right now. Wait, what? They don't sell potions? What kind of mart is this? The guy who works at the mart gave me a free potion earlier. That's the behind-the-counter stuff. Yeah, it's rough getting Magikarp to 20, though. I guess if you get him low enough, he can learn Tackle, which is kind of nice, but getting him up to 18 or 20 now, I can't even remember what level he evolves at. That was rough, because Hidden Splash, you had to just hope that he wouldn't die by the time you could switch him out. The XP share in this game is straight. There is an XP share, right? How would that work? You can't hold items. Now I can't remember. Man, it has been a while since I played this. Okay, 20, yeah. Either way, that is rough, because you're sitting there with your Splash, hoping that whatever you're fighting against doesn't kill you. Alright, we're going to look around a little bit, because we do want a Weedle here. And we also want to try to get Pikachu, not because we're going to use him long, just because getting an electric type is a bit more useful than catching a bunch of normal types. Yeah! First Pokemon battle of the game. Man, we gotta get Ember. Burn down the whole forest with Cherry and Larry. Weedle's so much more dangerous than Caterpie, because Weedle knows the poison type abilities, where Caterpie doesn't learn any poison type. Yeah, level 8. I don't remember which level you learn Ember at now. It's not too much further. Yeah, Caterpie will only know Scratch and String Shot. The Poison Sting does have a slight chance of poisoning us, which can be a bit annoying, given that I don't have an antidote. I think there's one hidden in the forest somewhere around here. Alright. Not sure why he continued to use String Shot if he was already moving faster than me, but... what are we at? Yeah, we're alright in health. It's just kind of dangerous since Charmander's our only Pokemon right now. We'll be okay though. Got a potion or two in the tank. I don't really want to split any of the experience that Charmander would be getting right now anyway, just because we're not going to be getting anything useful right now. Great. Oh, I'm going to be using a potion next. Critical's nice. Ooh, one potion, this guy's got 3 Pokemon. This is going to be kind of dangerous. Stop using Poison String, just lower my speed or something. Oh wow, back-to-back criticals, that's nice. Okay, we leveled up, so got a few hit points out of that. Oh, here we go. It's time to burn this forest down. Kakuna. Get your clown out of here. Boom. Oh wow, 3 criticals in a row. Man, look at all these levels. Fortunately, in Red and Blue, if you defeat a Pokemon, you don't take the poison damage at the end of your turn. I don't know if your final Pokemon can die from poison in this game. I don't think so. I could be wrong, I don't know. Red and Blue really wasn't very forgiving. Either way, it's not a big deal. It's not, I've already spent all my money when I first started the game on Pokeballs anyway, so... Just have the 150 or so that we got from the 2 battles we just did. Oh yeah! Alright, well, that's fine. Whiting out. Well, at least we're not doing a Nuzlocke or something like that, where the game would pretty much be over at this point. Nice, Genji and Hanzo, the 2 kittens that were featured on the SGDQ retweet. Alright, fine. We'll pick up an antidote. I'll play extra safe. I really didn't lose much at all though, because like I said, I had already spent all my money at the beginning of the game. So bad. Probably would have been a decent idea to catch a Pidgey at this point, but it's fine. I don't know why. After having watched SGDQ for the last week, I'm in like speedrun mentality. I'm like, let's be minimalist and try to get through this as fast as possible, even though this is like clown mode as speedrun. Let me change the title of the stream here. We're done with the setup. From what I can tell, everything seems fine. Just be sure to let me know if there's any issues with volume or the video's not coming in great or anything like that. Do what I can to fix it. It's my novice to intermediate understanding of how OBS works. Alright, we need to catch something. I'm not getting any random encounters here. What is going on? Might as well have been doing it. Oh my god. Why don't I just buy that antidote then? What was I saying? What is this? I'm not getting any encounters. Man, if only this was a speed run. Man. Thank you. Metapod. Actually, Metapod's not terrible. Since it's evolved, it's worth slightly more experience, and it's definitely not going to be hitting me, so it's pretty ideal in terms of experience. And since I'm fire, I can defeat it in one attack. I want to say there is a hidden item somewhere in here, and I don't remember where it is. Alright, well, we're going to look for Weedle. And we have Pikachu in the last patch of grass. Technically, Pikachu can spawn anywhere, but for whatever reason, I've had the best luck catching him in the final patch. Was I reversed in the order? Or was I wrong in thinking that Caterpie is more common in red? Is he actually more common in blue? I feel like I have to look it up. I have an old strategy guide sitting around somewhere, but I was hoping not to have to slow down the run using that. Alright, well, we have something else in our party now, so can't die to getting poisoned. Alright, we're gonna end up doing a little bit of walking around here. I think I was wrong. Maybe Weedle's more common in red. Kinda nice to get a second Metapod here though. Should be pretty close to leveling up again. Okay, so Weedle doesn't appear for yellow players, otherwise it should be in both red and blue. We're trying to get that Beedrill. Red and blue work a little different than the later installments of the Pokemon games, in that there aren't EVs and IVs, but rather there are stats known as DVs, like dependent values? Dang it, now I can't even remember what it stands for. Anyway, it's like based on specific Pokemon, so it's not quite as in-depth as maxing out your Pokemon stats now, but it's pretty random. I don't think there's very much you can do to manipulate it. It just sort of will affect the stats as you level up. And I'm sure that, you know, experts can look at the stats when they catch something and be able to tell which DVs it has, but if you consider also in this game that special is one combined stat as opposed to being special attack and special defense, which is kind of strange. You know, it's a bit more simplistic in this game. It's also kind of interesting whether something is physical or a special attack is based on the type of attack. Alright, this is getting a bit ridiculous. Why have we not found a Weedle yet? I might have to just catch one later, and that's fine. It'll be higher level anyway, but it just would be kind of nice to go ahead and get one caught so I can use it, because oh, you know what? I have to level up this Caterpie. I chose Charmander. I have to get him to Butterfree so I can use Confusion on Brock, otherwise Brock is really, really hard. What was that noise? don't know. The strange noise. Alright, Charizard's full stats. We're gonna go ahead and put the Caterpie in the first slot so we can get a little bit of experience from these battles and just switch him out. Because we're gonna need him to evolve. And evolving is quick. I think he learns Confusion at like level 12, so we're not gonna have to get him up too far. And level 9, this one really jumped up in levels. Yeah, level 12. Okay, so we don't have to get the Caterpie too high. He will evolve, I believe it's 7 and then 10. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go to Viridian City and hit the Pokemon Center just because the Caterpie's so weak. I don't think there's anything too special you can catch in that patch of grass in the left. I think it's mostly just the same stuff you can catch in Viridian Forest minus Pikachu. I think. Like I said, I don't have the guide on me. I have one sitting around somewhere. But it's been a few months since I've played any of these. Actually, the last time I played them, I was playing them on the 3DS, since they have the Virtual Console versions now. I've beaten the yellow and red ones. I have blue too. I got that special edition small 3DS that came with red and blue pre-installed and has the interchangeable red and blue designs on them. So that was pretty cool. And then I just bought yellow because yellow's a little bit of a different experience. Man, really wish I could get that Weedle. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil who our long-term team is altogether, but I will tell you that Beedrill is an integral part of that team because we need something to be able to fight psychic Pokemon. And although the bug type attacks are pretty pathetic in this game, anything is better than nothing. Alright, we're just trying to grind out a few levels for Caterpie here. We're going to stay in this patch of grass until potentially we find a Pikachu. If that takes too long, we're just going to move on to the next route and hit the grass there. Because I think the Pokemon go up an extra level or two, so they'll be worth slightly more experience. It's nice to get these Metapods though, because they're worth a little bit more. Of course, they're splitting experience, so give me a little bit of a grind. So Eastern time, it's 1:20 in the morning. Now we currently have 2 viewers. What are you guys up to at this late hour? Or perhaps early hour, I guess, would be the more correct way to refer to this time or region. Charmander just soaking up experience. I don't know. I guess I could try soloing some Pokemon with the Caterpie so it soaks more up, but it's gonna be a slow battle. All it knows is Tackle right now. Of course, when it evolves the Metapod, it'll learn Harden, which isn't any better. Unfortunately, right now the next thing we have to do is fight Brock, so there isn't too much room for me to go grind higher level Pokemon. Man, it is not giving me the Weedle. I have to have been wrong. Weedle must be more common in red, but both of them do exist in both versions, but except yellow. No Weedle in yellow. Okay. Caterpie can stand up to other Caterpies, that's nice. Guess he probably could stand up to a Metapod, but if a Metapod starts spamming Harden, I'm gonna end up wasting so much time. It's more worthwhile just to switch to Charmander and kill him really quick with Ember. Ugh, this game is so much harder if you pick Charmander, but it's totally worth it in the long run, because most of the other Fire-type Pokemon really don't learn great moves. You're kind of limited in what you can go with anyway. You'd be hitting Ninetales, Arcanine, Flareon, and, well, Magmar. Missing someone. There's another 2-stage fire Pokemon I feel like I'm missing. Oh, Ponyta, a Rapidash. There we go, there's a Weedle. That's what we needed. This guy's gonna be long term. We'll give him a nickname. You guys got any good nicknames for Weedle? Let's go ahead and put it in chat and we'll take it. I can't think of anything right now. Alright. He's ready to be caught. Hairy bug. That's a good description. Dang it. That's okay. Alright, we caught Weedle. We don't really need to look for a Pikachu, so we'll go on and rest up again and then do the grass right outside of Viridian Forest. Or Viridian City. I want to say it's slightly higher level. This is Viridian City, right? Viridian City was the one before the forest, wasn't it? I can't remember. Either way, Caterpie still has to get up to level 12 to learn Confusion, because that is the only way to reasonably take on Brock if you pick Charmander. So when we get to the name raider, I think in... oh man, I'm totally blanking on the city names right now. The one with Lieutenant Surge, I'm pretty sure is where the name raider is. Also could be totally wrong. Could be Cinnabar Island. These guys at level 3. Forest might end up being better. I give, oh wow, back-to-back criticals. Pretty good luck with the criticals this run. Charmander had 3 of them in a row earlier. Come on, Caterpie. Oh my god. Alright, we're going back to the forest. Normal types are with the least amount of experience. Trying to do a little bit of editing on the layout so the chat stays there. I haven't used Streamlabs too much. Kind of familiar with some of the widgets and tools you can use, but one more level and then we'll have Metapod. Man, thinking back to the TV show, I know if you played this game as a kid, you must have watched the TV show. Worst episode ever. Ash's Metapod when he battles the bug catcher who also uses Metapod. And then somehow, after they're both spamming Harden, Ash's Metapod evolves mid-battle into Butterfree. and therefore can finish out the battle on top. But that was the worst. Speaking of the Butterfree, sad episode when he releases that one. Watching that a few years ago, and I was like, man, I can see how somebody got teary-eyed from this. Not me, though. Not me. Alright, we're gonna go back into the forest. Getting those level 4 Metapods is way better than getting these level 3 Pidgeys and Rattatas, so... a little bit of a further walk, but it's worth it. Plus, there's always that off chance we'll catch a Pikachu anyway, so... just to say we did. I know the first time I played this game, I had no idea where you found Pikachu. And it's so funny because he like only spawns here. In like this patch of grass. Well, I mean, that's not true. He spawns throughout the forest, but I've had most luck finding him in this final patch of grass, historically. Of course, if that's the only place you're looking, I mean, that's really the only place you're going to find it, right? We're going to go to Charmander for these Metapods. It's way more ideal that Caterpie gets all the experience, but it's just too slow. I mean, with the Hardens. And Ember does special damage, so we just completely ignore the effects of the Hardens when we do that anyway. Plus, with it being super effective. Hopefully this will be the slowest part of the run. Because once we beat Brock, well, we can catch a few other better grass types. We're going to catch something useful in Mount Moon. Ideally, it's kind of rare to find. We'll probably just end up using Bellsprout to take down Misty. It's going to be a temporary Pokemon. Actually, we could potentially use the Weedle that we have to take down Misty, because with Starmie being Psychic, am I making that up? It would actually be super effective. I don't know why, I'm like totally blanking on just Pokemon knowledge. Yes, okay, it is Water and Psychic. There's currently, if you're playing some of the newer generation Pokemon, in Sun and Moon, there's at least one code active right now that'll give you some of the Mega Stones. All you have to do is type in the mystery gift code. They've been doing those kind of throughout the year, just different sets of Mega Stones. If you get on Twitter, I think Sarah B, that website that has a lot of like Pokemon information and updates, they have all the codes that you can use. And if you're playing the game anyway, you might as well. Got Z Stones and Mega Evolutions. I don't think that those are counted as the same thing, so you get one of each in a battle. But I've actually never used a Mega Evolution in Sun. Of course, now they've announced Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They've also, coming out soon, are going to be doing Gold and Silver on the Virtual Console, which is nice if you have a 3DS. Alright, first evolution. I really need to get a new 3DS XL. That's what I have. I have a new 3DS, but I have the small version. Because I have Earthbound on that one. Speaking of Earthbound, that run last night on SGDQ was so fun. I've never watched one to completion, and to be honest, I didn't watch this one to completion either. It went way too late in the night. I went to bed around 3 a.m. I was beat, and we saw Spider-Man this morning, so I had to get some sleep. That was so much fun. I kept sending out tweets back to back. Actually, the runner today went back and looked at the tweets, and he liked 2 of them that I did. One of them got like 70 likes on Twitter. I was like, oh. I'm gonna do our first save just to be sure. I mean, not that I'm expecting anything to go wrong, but I mean, it doesn't hurt. We just wiped the original whatever file. He doesn't like all the little moving characters. Look at that Metapod sprite. Alright, we just need to get him to level 12 and then we can beat Brock. Well, like I said, if you choose Charmander in red and blue, you're at a clear disadvantage for the first 2 gyms. Or at least the first one. Because even if you should level up Weedle and learn some of his abilities once he's Beedrill, Bug type is weak against... Bug is weak against Rock. And I want to say Onyx is ground and rock, so it's immune to poison. So that's why Butterfree is the best choice, because you get the psychic type move. Again, gonna continue with the trend of switching over to Cherry and Larry here. Guess I could have just named him Cherry. It's obviously with Larry because my character's name is Larry. Maybe when we get to the name raider we'll end up changing Charmander's name too. I believe Charmander evolves at 16. Not that it's usually important, we don't really need to keep an eye on his evolutions, but we will be using him throughout the entire game, as I've said. Useful because you have to keep in mind who can learn which TM or HMs. When you're planning your team, it's important. For instance, Weedle will be learning Cut because it has to be a Pokemon that you can catch early enough in the game unless you're going to just throw it on a Rattata or something. But my goal is to get the end game team as early as possible so we can start leveling them up equally so they're ready for the Elite Four. Just so you know, we will not be getting to the Elite Four tonight. I'm hoping over the next few days when Retroverse isn't streaming, I'll probably get on a bit later. Two level 5 Metapods back to back is pretty nice. I think that's pretty much the most amount of experience we're going to get off a single Pokemon at this point. Oof. Need to run into some Caterpies or something so the Metapod can solo it. Okay. I mean, I guess this is good RNG, just a little bit slower, I think, than Metapod just tackling some Caterpies down, but it's alright. I could just swap Metapod and Charmander's levels right now. That'd be ideal. Once we beat Brock, we're gonna have another rival battle, I believe. There's actually a skippable rival battle in this game. If you try to go over to the Elite Four after like the 3rd badge, you can fight your rival over there, but if you get to a certain point in the game and never walk over there, then you'll never end up having to do that battle. Because I don't think you're obligated in the game to go over there at that time. It's just kind of like if you go over there, he's waiting for you. In fact, he might be waiting there right now. I can't remember. Like I said, it's skippable. Alright, come on. Metapod should be leveling up here. I would think. I mean, that's a guess. But I would certainly think he's going to be leveling up here, because that's quite a few level 5 Metapods we've defeated at this point. Oh my goodness, still nothing. Oh, there we go, Kakuna, that's kind of nice. Worth catching? No. It's only one level difference. I'd rather have Weedle just in case the Kakuna doesn't know Poison Sting anyway, and this way I'll still get the experience off of it. Because that's the problem with catching a Metapod, is that it doesn't know Tackle. You have to catch a Caterpie so it knows Tackle, and then evolve it, and that's how your Metapod will know Tackle. Otherwise it's only going to know Harden if you just catch a Metapod. I think the same goes for Kakuna. Ooh, level 6 Metapod. There we go. Bring on the XP. The EXP. I don't know. It seems like... I always grew up saying XP. But whenever I hear anyone else refer to it, they say EXP. I know literally like EXP is the shorthand, but I just assumed that you would pronounce the EX as X, and then there's a P on the end of it, you know? Or like experience points. Whatever, not important. The mindless rambling of a you know, of a streamer. With lively chat. Well, Charmander's leveling up. I mean, it's okay. It actually really doesn't matter right now whether Charmander levels up or not. Because ideally we're never going to use him in the Brock fight. Of course, the most useless Pokemon against Brock would be if you caught the Pikachu. Because Geodude and Onix are both ground types, so he's completely immune to Pikachu's special attacks. You would just be hitting him with Tackle or whatever. Which is also not very effective because of Rock. But Charmander's at the pretty much this, well, at a disadvantage too, because the normal type attacks and the fire attacks are going to be not very effective. I have so far I've set up 3 ideal teams in this for red and blue and yellow, all of which don't. I've made sure that none of them contain any of the same Pokemon. That way, you get a little bit of diversity between the teams. So. Who knows? We'll see how this run goes, and then potentially we'll run it again and use a completely different team. Different starter, too, so this beginning part will be much smoother. Oh, stupid. I wasn't as attentive as I should have been there. Oh no. I'm actually gonna... No, I don't need to heal. Nothing here is going to kill me, and my PP is still fine in terms of being able to use Tackle and Ember, so... Once we get to Mount Moon, I think we'll start leveling up Weedle. Or no, we can start leveling up Weedle after Brock. But the priority right now is just getting that Metapod to level 12. Well, getting Butterfree to level 12. Nice getting a 30 experience each with those level 6 Metapods. We get 25 each for the level 5 ones, and I think like 20 for the level 4s. Another Kakuna, that's nice. Level 4, okay, so we'll get like 20 experience here. Yeah, but you'll notice that these Kakunas that we run into aren't going to be using Poison Sting, because they don't know it. Nice. Sort of continuing that trend of decent luck in terms of getting the evolved forms. I might, once Butterfree evolves, I might go in and take on the first trainer or two. They pretty much use the same, if I'm not mistaken, they use like Geodudes, which will be a challenge, but I don't think they're as high level as Brock's, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue between the Butterfree and Charmander to take him down. Finally, we get a Pikachu. I'm going to catch this. We will not be using Pikachu. Sorry. But we can keep him in our party for a little while and take out some Zubats later on with him or something. I don't want to risk killing it, so we'll go ahead and throw out Weedle here. Worst case scenario, we poison it, which would actually make it easier to catch anyway. Status ailments do give you a bonus to capture chance. And this Pikachu kills Weedle. Alright, I think we'll be okay. We'll see. If not, really all I can do right now is spam Pokeballs at this point, though. Alright, nice. Alright, we're, sure. Pikachu is good old Peeker Pot. That was dumb. Shouldn't have gone left. Peeker Pot. Alright. Again, not going to be using him, but sort of a novelty catch. That is pretty the only place you're going to get him in the game. Oh. Okay. I'm through the gate now. It gave me one, so now why not just give me some more? I'm not going to be catching any more of them though. I mean, not that like Pokeballs are super important items that I need to hold on to, but we really just don't need any more of these. We might as well get the experience for it. Man, I'm going to have to send out Charmander to finish this guy off. Thundershock is pretty weak. What you really want is Thunderbolt, because it has the relatively high power and high accuracy, whereas Thunder is really high power but low accuracy. So it's more of a risk. So that's why I'd say Thunderbolt is, in general, the better of the two moves. Alright, we're gonna go heal up since everyone's getting kind of weak after the Pikachu fights and stuff. We're about an hour into this run. Hopefully by an hour 10, an hour 20, we'll be beating Brock. Shouldn't be too much longer, because like I said, once we have Beedrill, we'll go in and start to fight some of the lesser trainers in Brock's gym. I want to say there's one or two. There's not many, but with what we have, it shouldn't be too challenging to beat him. It's just Brock himself would be impossible with my current team. What am I doing? Yeah, the critical hit's nice. Doesn't serve much purpose in the long run, but at least we know we're still getting the good RNG. Fortunately, once we get to Cerulean City, where Misty is, we have Nugget Bridge, so we kind of get the 5 or 6 trainers back to back. So that's a big boost to experience. By then, ideally, we'll already have Beedrill. The title of my stream is still messed up. Oh well. It's not a huge deal. Alright. Let's not mess this one up. And with the quick ember. Level 6 Metapod, so 30 each. Metapod only needs one more level, that we can get the run back on track. Give me 25 each. Man, this is nice. Another 25 experience each. We can catch a male or female Nidoran, I believe, before too long. We need a male. I actually didn't look into which are available in which game. It's not a huge deal. Nidoking is slightly better than Nidoqueen just because Nidoking actually has higher attack stats and Nidoqueen has higher defense stats, but we're gonna have to wait a while before we get a male Nidoran in blue. That's alright. We can also catch one in the Safari Zone. Maybe? Oh, I don't know. I can't even tell anymore. Before I start my next stream, I'm certainly gonna have to do a little bit of background research to make sure the team I've picked for this run is gonna be viable now that I'm playing blue. This is kind of under the assumption I was playing red, but that's alright. Worst comes to worst, I do have a red cartridge. I can get on the N64 and trade between the two. I don't have any of the original trade cables anymore on the Game Boy, plus I only have one actual Game Boy here anyway. I should be getting that final level here soon. hoping we'll get enough experience to get the last 2 levels actually in the gym, because you get way more experience for trainer battles than you do wild Pokemon, and they're going to be higher level, so should be getting at least like triple the experience, I would hope, that we're getting right now. I probably didn't need to do that switch. That's alright. In the long run, I think doing that speeds things up anyway. 18 isn't terrible. That's 7 less experience per Pokemon than a Metapod of the same level. Come on. And sometimes this game goes through periods where it does not want to give you encounters. Like when we first started the run, I walked through like 4 patches of grass before I got attacked by anything. It's ridiculous. What is happening right now? I zone out and zone back in. I don't know what's going on here. It's just not giving me anything. There we go. Another Pikachu. Okay. Come on, Metapod. Should be worth a decent amount of experience. 20. Wrong Pokemon. I did not know about y'all, but all this grinding is making me tired. I think we might make it to Mount Moon tonight, then hopefully tomorrow we'll have a bit more action. Should definitely, if I start at 11, I'm going to let Retroverse stream. Well, he has a schedule, I do not. Once he's done with his stream, probably get back on tomorrow night and we can make a lot more progress. But for tonight, we're gonna aim for 1 badge plus an extra route. Start leveling up some of our more useful Pokemon, because right now we are spending a lot of time to get this Butterfree that we're essentially dumping off as soon as we beat Brock. But as I've said, if you're gonna pick Charmander, it's the work you have to go through to beat it. To beat Brock. And there's that off chance you just get lucky and you can try to spam potions, but it's not like money is aplenty in this game. You're not going to be able to buy enough potions that outlast the Onix and Geodude. Well, I guess you could if you didn't buy as many Pokeballs as I did, but Pokeballs always take priority in my mind. Okay, so finally we have Metapod of 10. He's going to evolve. We're going to go into the gym. And hopefully the first two, or the first trainer or two, will give us enough experience so that it gets to 12 and learns Confusion. Alright, let's get out of here. Evolution get. So you know it's once you have cut, it is in this town that you go into the museum on the northern side of town, and that's where you get your fossil. That you can then take to Cinnabar Island to get Ammonite or Kabuto. Alright, we already have a few potions. I don't think we're going to have to use them. At least not for these first few battles. Alright. Good old junior trainer and that Diglett. See, level 11. It's a huge jump in difficulty here. We're just going to stick with Butterfree because Charmander is actually, his Ember is going to be not very effective anyway. And we want to try to soak up as much experience with Butterfree as possible. Alright, there we go. One down. We might end up switching to Charmander for the second Pokemon, but that's fine. We got one in here. Ooh, that's weak. Yeah, we can go ahead and attack again. Alright, now it's time to switch. Again, we're going to be at a disadvantage because Ember will be not very effective, but since he's kind of over leveled at this point, it still should do decent damage. Just has to hit. Sand attack is always a bit of a pain. Need to be able to switch out to Pikachu real quick. There we go. Much more effective than Tackle with Butterfree. Alright, there we go. First battle's done with. Ideally, Butterfree will get a level. Nope. Okay. Either way, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go heal. He only has one trainer, so that's nice. We're gonna have to go heal, and I think we're probably gonna have to grind just a little bit more. I guess if you really wanted to optimize this, you would have it so Butterfree would like hit level 12 on that first trainer. It's kind of what I was hoping for, but it's not like I've done the calculations or anything, so. Back to the old grind. Getting to 11 should be relatively quick, but then we have to go through 12. The reason we're doing this, to reiterate again, is because Butterfree is going to learn Confusion, which is a psychic type move, which is damage neutral, and a special attack which will allow us to bring down Brock with relative ease. Because since we chose Charmander, we're at a slight disadvantage. Same goes for Misty, but at that point you kind of have access to a more diverse set of Pokemon, so the fact that you chose Charmander isn't that big of a deal anymore. Okay, 11. That one out of the way pretty quick. Would be nice to be able to solo a bit more with Butterfree. Of course, now that it is Butterfree, should we get Pikachu, it's going to be weak because the Thunder Shock is going to be super effective since Butterfree is flying. But given the level difference, I'm not too worried about that. That shouldn't be a big deal. the single kill with Butterfree. That's going to be ideal. Of course, given the fact that it took over 300 experience to level up last time, this could be a bit of a wait before we get Butterfree to 12. As long as we keep getting the first evolution Pokemon, it should be pretty easy for Butterfree to keep soloing them though, which is nice. Level 3, eesh. Give me the really low level this time. 3 is the lowest you're going to find and 6 is the highest. Alright, the level 3 solo kill is worth more than the Metapod level 4 shared kill anyway, so level 6, there we go. For Metapod in particular, and Kakuna, still gonna stick to Charmander though. Takes way too long to tackle down one of those with the Harden. And the solo kill, 22 experience. Almost there, folks. Brock will fall soon. Whew. Hang in there. I'm not going to look at the amount of experience required to level up. It'd be too painful if I look and it's like, oh, it still needs 200 experience. We'll just keep the grind blind and, you know, eventually it's going to be over with. And it's going to be worth it because Brock isn't easy. First real difficulty gate in this game. But certainly, when I do another run of this game, I will be going with a different team than the Charmander team. Oh, what? It's not, the accuracy in red and blue is treated slightly different than it is in some of the newer games. When something has like a value of 100 for accuracy in the new games, it means it's pretty much, it'll hit unless its accuracy has been affected, but in this game there's always a slight chance you're going to miss even with a full accuracy attack. Not sure why that was the decision for accuracy, but is what it is. Come on, Butterfree. It said an hour and 10, hour and 20 to kill Brock, but we're on minute. Well, actually, it's an hour and 20 into my stream. I guess that's not necessarily an hour and 20 into the game because there was a few minutes I was doing some setup, but there were a few minutes. Sorry. Come on, that was 37 experience. Alright, I'm gonna do what I said I wouldn't do. Let's see how close we are. 107. Alright, so we got about 5 more encounters. Then it's Rip Brock. Alright, so 87 to go. See, this one's gonna get us 30, 35, I think. Oh, 30, okay. So 57 to go. Gonna be 20. $37 to go. Pikachu. Again, his attacks will be super effective to Butterfree. I don't think that's going to be an issue, so I'm just going to try to solo kill it with Butterfree. Oh, okay, it used Growl anyway. Alright, well. Oh, it would have been a free kill, but... Oh, yeah, okay, it's not a big deal. Oh, man. Give me the business right now. Paralyzed, missed my first attack. 2 experience. We need 2 experience. I'm just gonna go ahead and start heading back up towards town. We can just hit the grass up here then. Because anything will give us 2 experience. I'm just gonna switch out with Charmander because I don't feel like dealing with the stun from the paralysis anyway. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we can now take down Brock. At this point, if I had been solo killing with Charmander, I'm not convinced that would have been fast. I'm not convinced that that wouldn't have been faster, but okay, we're ready. We're over prepared. Still have Pikachu in our party. Not going to be seeing him in battle, but we did get one. I'm going to do a safety save. I would just charge in, but we've already whited out due to poison once this game, as embarrassing as that is. We don't need another one. It never gives you a choice with the gym leaders. It's like, you want to challenge me? Well, maybe not. Too late. Alright, Brock. About to put you on clown mode. Clown mode with that high damage right there. It's higher than anything else I could do right now, though, so it's gonna be good enough because those defense boosting moves don't do anything against confusion since it is a special attack. Yes, we're gonna put Weedle out just so he gets a little bit of experience, actually, because Weedle hasn't gotten any experience since we've caught him, and Beedrill will be one of our end game Pokemon, so I meant to nickname him, I didn't, so when we get to that point later in the game, we can change that out. Alright, Bide is... it does more damage based on the amount of damage that you do to him, so if you don't attack him, then it doesn't do any damage. That was a nice critical we got right there. Oof. Second, or critical from him. And there we go. Brock is defeated. We can finally move on with the game. Nice. Weedle got a level there. That's good. Alright. Boulder badge get. Boy, we can use Flash now. Alright. That's one gym as we begin our journey. So we're going to hit the Pokemon Center. We're going to switch Butterfree out of our first slot because we're not using it anymore. Actually, that's not true. We might use it a little... that's the wrong place. We might end up using it a little bit, but it's not a long-term teammate or team member for this run. Go ahead and buy 5 Pokeballs. Doesn't hurt. We're going to be trying to catch a Clefairy. Potentially a Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff and Clefairy both appear in Mount Moon and the road before it. But if we don't get a Jigglypuff, it's not a big deal. We're actually just looking for Clefairy this run. They're both pretty powerful. I think Clefable is slightly better than Wigglytuff. I could be wrong in saying that. I don't actually know. As far as I know, they're both pretty good because they have a really diverse moveset with TMs and their special is very high. Alright, should be able to walk out of town without being stopped now. Switch out the party. So Weedle on that first slot so he can start soaking up a little bit. We're gonna hit every trainer on this route. Funny, she says, you looked at me, didn't you? Because technically speaking, I would never have to look at her, but if she saw me, then I would still be in battle. We do still have Peeker Pop. He's not going to be used ever. I'd rather apply the experience to someone that's going to be in the team for the long term, like the long haul. So once we get to Misty, ideally we're going to be using Beedrill to do most of our damage. Because with... let's see, when does he learn Twin Needle? Twin Needle is going to be level 20. That's going to be super effective against Starmie anyway. Gotta love losing accuracy like that. Ugh. And 3 sand attacks. There we go. Cherry and Larry. Alright, level 15. Oh boy. Go evolve at 16. I'm not sure he learns anything when he evolves, but... You did? If I go back to Viridian Forest, I'm pretty sure I'll still find that guy standing there. No, we're not gonna risk it. There's a relationship between bug and poison to where one of them isn't very effective against the other. I honestly am too tired to remember right now which is which, but either way, this is always going to be quicker to just send out Charmander. There we go. So we're going to have Kakuna at the end of this battle. We'll learn Harden. That's super useful. Either way, we need to constantly be switching Weedle back in just to make sure that he soaks up a bit of the experience here. We need our goal right now is to get Weedle to 20, and we have plenty of time to do that. It's just might as well get started now. There aren't any, I don't believe there are any particularly challenging trainers on this route. We've got this bug catcher, and then I think we've got youngster Joey with his Rattata next, or I like Shorts guy. I can't remember which. I used to think that I like Shorts because they're comfy and easy to wear was youngster Joey, but youngster Joey's the one that's always talking about his Rattata, so I think those are two distinct characters. I could be wrong. I like Shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear. Oof. It's a heavy hit from that Rattata. I guess with it being level 11, still seems pretty high. Alright. Quick attack is slightly more powerful than tackle. You want me to spoil it for you? I was gonna slowly reveal it as we went on. I'll tell you the team though. Also, thanks for joining. Sort of a late night stream. I'm starting to get pretty tired myself. Goal is to get the Mount Moon tonight, but we're going to be picking it up throughout the week. Welcome, Manny CD. The end game team, anyone who doesn't want to hear, I guess close your ears. Not that I'm sure anyone cares. The end game team of this run will be Nidoking, Hitmonchan, Beedrill, Charizard, Gengar, and Clefable. I just misplayed that. I need to get... Actually, I don't know if I can get him out. I'm going to have to potion him. Wrap is very strange. Wrap and Constrict are very strange in these games. Like, you can't switch out. You can't attack. You just have to, like, sit there and take it. I think, well, I don't know, it's not necessarily any different, I think, in the later games, but some of the off status ailments in this game are difficult to deal with. It's like the only way to get out of being frozen in red and blue is to be hit with a fire attack. It doesn't just happen over time like in the newer games. So if you're against a Pokemon that doesn't know any fire attacks, and I would assume that if you were frozen, you're probably not against a Pokemon that can learn a fire attack. You're kind of screwed. Hopefully, yeah. I have to go Beedrill just because I like having that safety of the bug type move, and there really aren't all that many useful bug type attacks in these games. So I go for Twin Needle because you get the multiple hits, and the way that the multiple hits in red and blue works as opposed to some of the newer ones is that if you get a critical on your first attack, then all the rest of the attacks are going to be critical. For reference, that's only for moves that are like Fury Swipe, where you get 2 to 5 hits. So that's why Twin Needle is ideal. That's the only real reason I'm using Beedrill. But yeah, it should be an interesting run. I love playing these games. It's been probably 6 or 8 months since I've beaten one, but I always like to go back and play them again. Our team won't be finalized until Victory Road because some of the best TMs you don't get until Victory Road. Alright, still going to stick with the Kakuna coming out every round because we want our Beedrill to soak up all this early experience. 20 by Misty is the goal. Although we do have like Nugget Bridge and a lot of trainers once we do get to Cerulean City anyway. That is Cerulean City, right? Where Misty is? Sounds right, but now I cannot remember for the life of me. Ah, Vermilion. Vermilion City is where Lieutenant Surge is. Okay, right? Damn it. I'm questioning everything tonight. Alright, Vermilion City. Pulling up good old Google here. Alright, I think... Yes, okay, Vermilion City is where Lieutenant Surge is. Alright. So Cerulean should be where Misty is. That's the next town we're getting to. Yes. Magmar is an awesome choice. Whenever I do runs, I have a few preset teams that I kind of end up defaulting to. This is sort of my first choice team. I try not to, in any of my teams, have overlapping Pokemon, so Magmar definitely could be a member in one of my other teams when I don't pick Charmander as a starter type. So when we get into future runs, I don't know how, when future run's going to happen, but anyway, definitely consider putting Magmar in that team. He's definitely something different. You can't really compete with Charizard though. I mean, having that fire and flying type is just so unique to him in this game and makes him so useful, especially when you consider you have to have all the HMs and your useful Pokemon, so you're gonna have to know fly. Unless you're rocking like a Pidgeotto or something, it's kind of difficult to work that in. Cherry and Larry's evolving. Charmeleozoid. His sprite looks so cool, but Charmeleon is one of the strangest sprites in my opinion for when you're actually using him in battle. Like when I was a kid, I was so confused as to what I was looking at. Pretty lucky. We should be able to make it through this entire route without having to go back to the previous city. Sort of wishful thinking. But it's nice in that there's a Pokemon Center before Mount Moon. That's probably where we'll call it tonight. But I mean, look at that. Charmeleon looks like a cow. Like that. Every time I look at that, I look at well, it's a bull, I guess, because that horn there. This looks like a bull or a cow. I don't know. Mankey is definitely a funny one. Love that one. I feel like the first time I played the game through, though, as a kid, I was like, I never found Mankey. I don't know if it was because I was on red and he's not in red. I can't remember the type differences so much in terms of what's in one and not the other. But I don't think I ever found a Mankey. But I was playing it like I said, about 8 months ago, and I did catch one, and I got him on my team temporarily for the fighting type, and I was like, what is that? Alright, do we want to... Yeah, we want to battle this guy. Of course, if we're going to battle this guy, we might as well end up going back to the last town to heal up. Hey, you're not wearing shorts. Leads you to believe it's the same guy as earlier. I like shorts because they're comfy and easy to wear. Spearow. If I was playing this game without already having a pretty good idea of what the direction I want to go with my team, I would probably be using Butterfree a bit more, just because that confusion is so nice. You know, I never got Mew. I have yet to ever get Mew in any red, blue, or yellow. I haven't gone through and done the trick, and at this point it's really easy to access that information. I've just never gone through the process. So I personally have never seen what Mew is like to be on your team. I'll have to definitely look that up after this, after I get off tonight. And Charizard, yeah. Charizard's nice. So satisfying once you have Charizard on your team. I'm always afraid I'm going to mess up the inputs with the Mew trick, because the way that it calculates which Pokemon you're going to encounter is based on like the last I think it's two Pokemon that you've encountered, and there's a weird trick. You encounter a certain level like Bellsprout or something, and then as soon as a trainer sees you, you fly up to Cerulean, then walk around some grass near Bill's house, and Mew appears because of the way the numbers are rolled. But I haven't done it. I don't know. I guess I could do it this run, maybe. I'm gonna have to look it up before we get there. So that I don't accidentally like battle the trainer that I have to use in the trick. Okay, we've already battled her, so we've got this guy, and I think there might be one or two other trainers. There's a patch of grass down there to the south. I'm not really sure cardinal directions apply to Pokemon. That's okay. We're going to call it south. There's a patch of grass there, and I think you can catch the Nidorans there. You can also catch Clefairy and Jigglypuff. They're really rare. Currently, I don't have a stream schedule. My schedule's kind of weird because I have a bunch of projects that I'm working on, and try to dedicate quite a bit of time to some job applications, so it ends up being pretty random. Since I've started this game this week, and it's something I want to keep up, I'll probably be getting on around 11:30 or 12, pretty late at night. But we'll see. My brother, he goes by Retroverse, streams on a set schedule on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I'll probably be getting on after him. If you like retro stuff, he's a good channel to watch too. Recently he's been playing some of the Game Boy Mario and Wario games. He should be in chat. I don't know where he is. If he wants to set his name in there. But yeah, I mean, if you're liking this run, feel free to follow. And unfortunately, yeah, I can't really say with true confidence that I have a stream schedule right now, but at least for this week, it's going to be a little later. Like I said, 11:30 p.m., somewhere around midnight. That's Eastern time. Feel free to join back in throughout the week and, see how the run is going, because we're taking this all the way to the Elite Four. Oh, wow. Did you see how weak that was? Gotta get him out of here. Beedrill. It's strange that Jigglypuff looks a little off. Like the eyes aren't level and the shape is a little off, and it's like Jigglypuff is like the second most iconic character in the series at this time. You know, you have Pikachu and then Jigglypuff. Why do they look so strange? Chansey. I'll have to look at the specific differences between the versions for Chansey. Sorry, I haven't had the chance to read your previous text real quick. I'm looking something up real quick, or your previous message. Give me just a moment. Chansey in blue. See, Chansey is Pokemon Safari, or it's in the Safari Zone, right? So, oh, it's in the Unknown Dungeon too. I have to get one of my old books out to be able to tell you the game-specific differences. But apparently it is in the Safari Zone and the Unknown Dungeon. This IGN site doesn't tell me that there's any particular differences between the versions for Chansey. There are some, like Meowth, for instance, I'm pretty sure is in blue but not red. Okay, yeah, well, yeah, I greatly appreciate you, you know, tuning in for the runs. It's a lot of fun. I always love playing Pokemon, and it's even better when there's, you know, some viewers to chat with, and we can share our ideas and frustrations with the game. Yeah, this patch of grass right here can spawn Clefairies and Jigglypuffs. The better place to do it, though, is, of course, Mountain Moon, which is right there on the right. So, we have reached our goal for tonight. We're going to rest up right here, and probably save it. We can go ahead, and I'm pretty sure this is where you can do the Magikarp scam if you really want to. If you just have to have your Magikarp now as opposed to once you get your rod. Where is he at? Is it in this play? Yeah, here we go. He's got a deal from me. Magikarp for only 500 Poke. I don't want that. Alright, well, we have reached Mount Moon. That was tonight's goal. Tonight was a bit slow because we had to get the Butterfree up there, but I don't think there are any huge hiccups, at least not for the next few nights, if you consider that each night will be probably 2 to 3 hours, somewhere in that range. I started this one a bit late tonight, kind of a last second decision. I was like, yeah, go ahead and get started. Yeah. Good night there, Manny CD. Thanks for tuning in, and look forward to the rest of the week. Yeah, it's always a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream down. Good night, everyone, and thank you, and I will see you later this week.